Now, I stayed away from the subject of Saïd Benrahma during yesterday's video. I thought the performance, the result and the feel-good factor of the win at Elland Road was so good, I didn't particularly want to dilute it by talking about one individual player for a long period of time, because it was a wonderful result for us. But something I thought quite significant happened in that game. Now, we've all been waiting for Benrahma to start. We've all been wondering numerous things. Is David Moyes easing him in? Did David Moyes want him? Was he a Sullivan signing? Is there a place within the system for Saïd Benrahma? And maybe, just maybe, we had to wait for that system to change before we got a good glimpse of him and to see what he could do. However, having seen him start his first game, I've got to say I'm very, very impressed by what I've seen. There's always the worry and the suspicion that sometimes when players step up a division, they're not going to be able to do it, particularly that final step. You know, can you go from League 2 to League 1? Yeah, you know, yes, from League 1 to the Championship, it's not as big a step. The Championship to the Premier League is a massive, massive step for any footballer. You're dealing with Champions League players, by and large. You're dealing with a lot of internationals, a lot of players with big reputations. All the best managers in the country all ply their trade in the Premier League, of course, with the best coaches, the best training grounds, all the stuff. So can you, as a player, step up and impose yourself against the best defenders in the league? I'm not suggesting the best defenders in the league were playing for Leeds, of course. However, I do think he showed enough to, number one, give us an impact and suggest he should start in the next game, and number two, to suggest that going forward he's going to be able to offer us a lot more. I think he tried on at least 3 occasions to curl the ball into the top corner. He was on the left, sort of dropped his shoulder, cut past a couple of players, and then tried to bend the ball into top bins, as they call it, the top right-hand corner. It didn't happen. It didn't work out. But you don't need to see it fly in the back of the net to realise that actually that is going to work out. That is going to be a goal that he scores. It may be his sort of stock-in-trade goal. It may be the goal. He's sort of his trademark, if you like. Saïd Benrahma cuts in from the left, curls it in to the top right corner. I don't think there's going to be an awful lot the goalkeeper's going to be able to do about it when he hits them on target. And one of them was very, very close. But it's not all about the taking of the shots and curling it into the top corner. I love the way on a couple of occasions where he had the confidence to drop his shoulder and try and go through and dribble past a couple of players in the middle. I say try and dribble through. He did. He absolutely did. Now, we've all seen his highlight reel, and it's always a little bit of a worry when you see a highlight reel on YouTube of players doing nutmegs and pirouettes and all these things. You think, okay, well, that's fair enough. Are they going to be able to do it in the games? Well, I think, yes, Benrahma can do it within the games. Not only do I think he can do it within the games, I think he will do it in the games. He'll continue to do it, and he'll try and do it in every game. And I think it's really important with somebody that has that much creativity, that can turn very, very quickly, that you don't clip his wings, that you don't limit him. But it has to be done within the confines of the team, because the team is such that the team was winning and doing well anyway. We haven't just suddenly found ourselves in 5th because of Saïd Benrahma. So actually, everything, the makeup of the team, how we play defensively, how we win the ball in central midfield, how we get up the pitch, how we counter-attack, that all has to stay in place, and Benrahma has to operate from within that. And that's why it's important that he plays in the sort of role that he did, that we saw at Elland Road. And that is, I don't want to see him have a ton of responsibility. Now you've seen that. Now you've seen him play, which was a free role pretty much behind Sebastian Haller, or up front on his own if you want. You then look at his second half against Aston Villa, and he was asked to defend too much. I don't want him to defend. And there's a difference between working hard and following instructions and defending well. They are two separate things. So when I suggested against Aston Villa, I don't want to see him defending, people often reply, not often, occasionally people reply and they've not really listened to what you've said. And so a couple of people said, well, he wasn't lazy, he was getting back there. That's not what I'm saying. I know he gets back there. But tackling is a technique as well. The timing of the tackle, winning the ball. You get that wrong, you can see the foul. And that's why I don't want to see him doing that. He's not spent his life practicing defending and tackling. He spent his life, it seems, doing pirouettes and trying to curl the ball into the top corner. And for that reason, I want to see him in and around the box. I want to see him creating mayhem. So I do think it's important that his wings are not clipped and he's allowed to do that in the top half of the pitch. But I also think he needs to be brought to heel a little bit, as he was done with the free kick. So the free kick just before we scored, he tried to shoot. And Cresswell wasn't very happy with him. And he was saying, well, hold on, that's not what we do here. We get it to the big fellas in the box. Now, I think next time he won't do that. And next time he'll put a lovely delivery in and he can get some assists. And he will get some assists. He's already got 2 already. So I think that is sticking within the parameters and the confines of the team. However, when he's got the ball at his feet, if he's far enough up the pitch, let him dribble. Let him cause absolute mayhem. Because players are not going to want to are not going to want to go near him. And that gives up opposition teams a massive problem when they play West Ham. Because if they do try and tackle Benrahma, they're going to concede a free kick. And as we all know, and the stats do show this, if you concede a free kick against West Ham, you're as likely to concede a goal as with any other team in the Premier League. We are literally the best at it. We are the best at swinging that ball in, getting someone to put their head on it, or come in late at the back post, decide it in the back of the net. You don't want to concede free kicks. Now, I think for a little while, particularly recently, since last lockdown, you might have looked at West Ham and if, as an opposition coach, you might have said about West Ham, hold on, you do not want to concede free kicks from wide areas against this team. Why? Well, for the reasons I just said. A free kick to us is like a corner. They're the same. From wide areas, look, we scored 1 goal against Leeds from a corner. We scored 1 goal against Leeds from a free kick. We're dangerous from wide areas. However, they might have said, centrally, not so bad. Well, I've got to say, I've not seen Benrahma take a free kick yet. I haven't. However, I would imagine from the technique that he uses, from the way that he shoots, he's going to be pretty deadly from free kicks. And we know that Aaron Cresswell is a threat from central areas, from the position where you can take a left-footed free kick. So now you've got someone, we've got 2 players that can do it both sides. So now just don't touch West Ham, basically. Don't foul West Ham. Well, that gives people problems as well. Because if you're not fouling us, you're standing off us. And you're giving us space. And if you give us space, somebody like Saïd Benrahma can cause absolute mayhem. I'm really looking forward to seeing more of him. I think it's important that you have a bit of fantasy in the team. I was a little bit annoyed when he got taken off. But what do I know? Moyes got it wrong. I got it wrong. Moyes got it right. He took him off. It was the right thing to do. Tactically, strategically, he did the right thing for the team. And I looked at the way that team celebrated after the final whistle, and that is a team. And if you can get players like Benrahma playing for the team and part of the team ethic, as opposed to somebody like Felipe Anderson, who you never really felt was part of it. He never really bought into the system. He never really bought into the idea and the scheme and what we were trying to do. You get a player like Benrahma who buys into this. Say, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to play within this team. I'm a team man. I'm a team player. Then you've got a hell of a player on your hands. And we've got a really good asset. And I'm delighted to see Moyes play him. And I'm now less concerned whether it was a Sullivan signing or a Moyes signing. That doesn't bother me because I do think that Moyes would have looked at that performance and he would have thought, okay, I can make this guy work. I can make this guy work for me and I can make this guy work for my team. I was really pleased to hear what Declan Rice had to say about him. Because, again, that gives an indication. Look, Mark Noble got the armband, okay, when he came on the pitch. But Declan Rice is the captain. Declan Rice is playing all the minutes and he's the captain most of the time. So I think when he spoke of Benrahma, he was speaking about him as a captain. And I really liked what he had to say about him because it also gives an indication that the players see him as a big part. The players see him as an asset to have on the pitch. And if the players see him that way, that means he's training that way. It means he's involved. It means he's engaged with the whole ethos of the club. And I think that just bodes really, really well for having him in there. The other thing, I mentioned it on the Patreon, on the player ratings on the Patreon. He doesn't seem to mind getting kicked. Now, when I say doesn't mind getting kicked, what I mean is no one likes it. No one wants to be studded in the shin. However, it doesn't put him off his game. Someone doesn't rake their studs down him and take Benrahma down and then he retreats into his shell and thinks, I'm not going to do that anymore. Because that's the reason why players bully players, obviously. It's to make them not bother. I thought the bullying, we'll deal with that Sebastian Haller video later on in the week. I thought the bullying against Sebastian Haller worked. I thought they tried to bully Saïd Benrahma and it didn't work. I thought he said, okay, you've taken me down. I'm going to go again. You stopped me dribbling this time. I'm going to dribble past you next time. And that's actually not about, that's just up there. That's not about, I'm not talking about physical strength, about him not being in pain when he gets hacked down. That's the mental fortitude to say, okay, fine, I'll go again. I'll dribble past you and I'll make you look like a mug next time. I'm going to, you know, whatever, pirouette past you, slip the ball between your legs or whatever the case may be. And what I do like about players like this is that when you have somebody that's skillful in the opposition team, it does create space for other players. And I think Benrahma playing like that is going to create space for people like Jarrod Bowen. And when Jarrod Bowen gets space, I think he could be quite lethal as well, because actually Jarrod Bowen has got a little signature goal. He's not scored it that many times yet. He scored it twice for West Ham, but it's almost like the Yarmolenko goal, where he sort of cuts in on his left and then he tries to bend it in. He tried it twice against Man U. He tried it against Leeds and it went a little bit wide. But what the defenders seem to know, he's going to do that, and they close him down quite well because they're quite close to him. Well, you're not going to be able to, if you're a defender, you're not going to be able to be close to everybody. And Saïd Benrahma is so good, I think opposition teams need to try and put 2 players on him. If you're putting 2 players on him, then someone else in the team ain't being marked. I like it. I like what I see. And it was really good to get a win and get a victory. A win and a victory, they're the same thing. Why do I say a win and a victory? It was really good to see us play well and get something at Elland Road, which is a bit of a graveyard shift for us. We don't traditionally do well at Elland Road. But it did cast my mind back a few years to a good time at Elland Road. And whilst we weren't playing Leeds, we were playing Everton. They were happy days.
We got a throw in late on. Trevor hoisted the ball into the box. I saw one of our players, and the next thing I knew, Frank's dived and headed the ball, and I was right behind it. And as he headed it, I was really disappointed. I can remember vividly thinking, it's a shame that's going to go wide, because it was going wide, and then it hit a big divot on the pitch and diverted it into the corner.
And whatever Frank was doing up there, I haven't got a clue.
I remember listening to that game and Frank getting the goal and thinking the commentator must have got that wrong. Frank wouldn't have been up there. What would Frank be doing up there? What's he doing in the box?
When Frank's popped up and got the header and that, it was just elation and that, so it was that was just a brilliant night.
A bit of Canning Town Len there. Please do go and check out Canning Town Len on canningtownlen.com. There's an awful lot going on that website. He's actually got a game on there at the moment where you can throw pies at the board. That's quite good. If for nothing else, that's got to be good fun. canningtownlen.com. You can order your portraits. You can go and see everybody's second team. You can go and see so many animations, so much fun stuff going up at the moment as an animated series, which is absolutely brilliant, up on Amazon. It's got a lot going on, Len. Go and check it out. canningtownlen.com. I'll be back, I don't know, very, very soon. I've got a whole list of things to talk about, so we're going to keep busy. But let me know what you think of Saïd Benrahma, and him. There's 2 of them. Saïd Benrahma in the comments below.